Hello everyone. Today we're out here on Whiteheart Island and we're after a trophy whitetail. So I was thinking what better place to come to try and find a big whitetail, and you could definitely go a lot of different places. You could go Settlers Creek, would definitely get some big ones, Loggers Point, Red Feather Falls, but I was thinking Whiteheart Island has a pretty good setup and we have some tree stands set up here. So if you look right here, you can see I have about 6 different stands and we can pretty much just work it in a circle here. I think what we're going to do is start off going north here and swing around, cover this whole beach here all the way around these points, work our way back to the tent, cross over to this stand, and then come to this stand. And at any point we can always cut back to each stand no matter what direction we want to go, whether we want to do this or go like this or whatever we want to do. We can do anything we want. So wow, we kind of just made a star. But that's basically what we want to do, is cover this as much as possible in hopes of possibly cutting off a monster whitetail buck. Alright guys, well we just got a buck grunt. We're actually headed to the first stand right now. And this buck grunted like right here. So we might be able to call him in from this stand. We could try and call him in from up here, but the problem is we're basically up on top of a hill. And there's all kinds of thick brush up here. We'll never be able to see him before he sees us, and he'll be gone. But what we can do is when we get down to this road here, we can put out a call. That way we can kind of lure him in this area, and it'll kind of hold him here just long enough to give us time to get up into our tree stand. So if we call him from this road right here, he'll be up on the high, and we're actually going down below, so he won't be able to see us. And I think, yep, he called again. Alright, so it's working pretty good. Our buck should come in to right about there, giving us just enough time to be able to get up into the stand and get set up. And there's our stand right there. We want to make sure we don't see him on this side first, because if he keeps coming this way, that's not going to be a good thing. He could see us way before we see him. Alright, let's put out another call. Oh, there he is right there. And that is a monster high rack buck. Our first buck might be a trophy. Let's take a look at him here. Is that another buck? Okay, we have 2 whitetail bucks coming in right now, guys. Alright, we need to get into the stand, and we need to get into it fast. I'm not sure which buck is which at the moment, but we definitely have 2 trophy bucks coming in. Well, at least 1 trophy buck coming in. It's a high rack. It looks to be like a 160 plus high rack buck. And for a high rack, that's nothing to be ashamed of, that's for sure. So let's put out a call here. And it should give us a broadside shot. Alright, now we're going to prone and get into the stand. So we had a score estimate of 145 to like 170 on that high rack buck. He's going to be about 160. And to get a high rack, I would like to get 165 plus. I'll be happy with 165 plus to get him mounted for a high rack. Alright guys, so we just got up in the stand, and now we're going to wait. So, sort of the problem is, not that it's really a problem, but we have 2 different bucks coming in. And I know one of them's definitely a shooter. So, I'm not sure if we should shoot the first shooter that comes in, or we should kind of wait for the other one to come in and make sure he's not big too. I just don't know. And he grunted. Or we have 3 whitetail bucks coming in. I did not know this spot was going to be this good. The other buck that grunted was somewhere over here. So he should be coming in pretty soon. this our buck? Yep, our big buck's coming in right now. Yeah, I think this is a 165 plus high rack buck right here. This might be a trophy. I don't see any stickers on him. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to get mounted on our wall. But like I said, I don't want to take the shot right away because we got to get a look at these other bucks before we shoot this one. Most likely there's going to be 120 bucks, but you never know. Yep, here's a 120 coming in here. So that's one of the other bucks. And the other buck should be... oh, he's right underneath us. And we might be alright to take a shot on this buck. No sign of him whatsoever. So unless he's stuck on a tree, which that could definitely happen. He's definitely not coming in. Alright, so this buck is starting to give us a pretty good shot. And since we don't see any sign of any other deer around, we're probably going to take it. He's right underneath us. So if you stop right there, or maybe he's not going to stop. Okay, here we go. He stopped pretty broadside. And we dropped him. And I think the doe ran right towards this buck here. Well, there's no sign of the other buck. But we got ourselves a big buck already. So let's get down and take a look at him. Yeah, we definitely gave that buck plenty of time to come in. And if he didn't want to show himself, there he is right there too. You gotta be kidding me, he's a monster. He looked like a 160s, 170s, but I don't think he was a high rack. I think he was more of like a wide, one of those wide rack bucks. Didn't really get that good of a look at him though. But he didn't go too far. So if we get this buck, we might be able to get time to try and come up this way a little bit, and maybe we can call him back in. Alright, but let's take a look at this buck first. So our first big buck we shot with the recurve. Let's see what he scores. Hit him in his spine and left lung. He scores 158.6. So he's definitely a nice buck, and he's definitely an awesome buck. So we'll take a cool picture of him. But you can see he has a sticker right there. Probably would have scored about 163. So nice buck. Now I would like to get another look at this buck here. Unfortunately, if we would have waited about 2 more minutes, that buck would have came right in. But we wanted to get down and take a look at this buck, so what can you do? So he ran off in this direction here. Like I said, he shouldn't have gone too far at all, just past these rocks up here maybe. Don't see any sign of him. But we do have a doe coming in right now. So we might as well try and take her out. Alright, she's down. Another doe. She's down. Now our buck should be somewhere just up in these trees right here. And as soon as he starts coming in, depending on how big he is, we might just take him from here. Or we might try and work our way back to that stand and get in it. Alright guys, so we just got back in the stand. And now we wait. Alright guys, well we waited for quite a long time now, and unfortunately the bucks never came in. Well, luckily I looked back at some of the video and noticed the buck is about a 160s, if not smaller. Basically the same size as the one we just shot. So we're not really going to go after him and pursue him. Instead we're going to continue on and head over to this DoubleTree stand that we have set up right here covering the beach. Alright guys, so we just got up into this DoubleTree stand here. We're going to sit here a little while, call probably about 15 minutes. And if we get some action, we'll stay. If we don't, we'll move on to the next stand. Well guys, we have a buck coming in. But he's not very big. Looks like we have about a 6-pointer coming in here. But at least we didn't get skunked. This is the only buck that we had call from this stand so far. So it's definitely better than a doe. And no sign of anything else. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take out this buck. And then we'll move on to the next stand. Alright, so let's try to take a shot right through the stand here. Dropped him. And we might as well take out the doe. Don't want her to go spooking everything. So she's down too. And let's go collect our buck. Our small buck. And the doe, then we'll head to the next stand. He was pretty small, 57. And the doe. Alright, so now we're going to head over to the next stand. Alright guys, so we just got into a new stand now and we're in a fresh location. So hopefully we see a buck. Look at this guys. We got a buck sneaking in right here. Never grunted or anything, he just stuck right in. That's pretty cool, I like it when they do that. Come all the way in from... He came in probably from about 150 meters away. Never made a sound. All I could hear was a deer walking. And we looked down and there was a buck. And he's gonna stop. There we go. And he's down. So it seems like we're averaging about 1 buck per each stand. Except for that first one. That first one we had like 4 bucks at that one stand. We only shot 1 of them. But we saw 3 of them. And the other one actually didn't. We weren't able to see it. But the big one that took off was actually like a 160s. 150s, 160s, something like that. So we're going to give a couple more calls here. And if we don't see anything, we're going to work our way over to the next stand. Right here. Alright guys, so it's been about 15 minutes now and no other sign of any other bucks. So we're going to hop down, pick up this buck. And there's a doe right behind us, but we didn't decide to shoot her. She just called actually. So let's pick him up. He scores 117. And let's head over to the next stand. Alright guys, we ran into a pack of coyotes here. Pretty decent one in the front. So they're both about the same size, it looks like. Well, this coyote's about to run us over here. So he's hit. And he's a pretty decent one. He's running right over towards our stand. So it should work out alright. and hopefully we can call in some bucks. Look at that! We just got a buck grunt. Perfect. Something tells me he's not very big though, because for him to grunt right there, he must not be that smart. And see if we can't take him out. He's about 40 right there. And he's down. But hopefully there's another big buck around. Alright guys, here's our buck. So we'll pick him up. We hit him in the left lung, right lung, and shoulder blade at 31 meters. And now we're going to go track down that coyote. And hopefully we can find him. And then hopefully he'll lead us to a big buck. And there's our coyote down right there. So here he is. Let's pick him up and see what he scores. He's probably going to be close to 50s, but I'm not quite sure. He's going to score 50.4. So we actually might get this mounted. And we took him with the recurve bow. We weren't even in the stand. That's pretty cool. 50 coyote is definitely nothing to be ashamed of. So looking forward to seeing what this thing looks like in our lodge. Alright, pretty cool picture. And yes, we're going to mount him. Well guys, we're going to keep looking for another trophy whitetail buck. And hopefully we find one. Well guys, we're looking for a big whitetail buck and we found a pretty big bull elk here. He actually has a score of... Oh, apparently the hunt's not over yet. Because we just got a buck call over there. Right at our stand. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get that buck to come in. And also we can get this bull. Alright, we're in. And there's the bull. And if we're lucky, we can get a glimpse of this buck here. He should be coming right down the road. See a doe there. And what looks to be a 120s buck. Yeah, so he's not much. Oh, our bull's coming in. Now, this bull's probably going to be like a 330s. So definitely not giant, but he's definitely a pretty good one. And I think he'll look pretty cool on the wall. Been wanting to get a good elk for a little bit of time now. And this will be a good start. Alright, so he should stop right there. Right underneath us. And let's take a shot. Dropped him. And let's just double check to make sure the other buck isn't coming in yet. So there's the buck coming in there. I was hoping there might be another buck with him, but it doesn't look like it. Just one buck all by itself. And he's down. Apparently we're going to shoot this doe too. And she's down. So I was hoping there'd be another big buck in this area, but unfortunately there's not. We got a coyote out here though. Let's see if we can call him in. Uh-oh, we gotta switch sides. Where's he at? Got him, barely. So we had to take a shot or he probably would have spooked, but we got him. And he landed right on top of this buck. He was right behind the tree. Oh, look at this. We got our bull here too. I forgot about that. So let's pick up this coyote here first. 21 point. Yeah, he's actually not. He's not quite as big as I thought he was. But still pretty cool. And let's pick up this whitetail buck here. This one might be a 130s to be honest. 128. Got a spine, lung, and liver on him. So he's not the smallest buck I've ever seen. Well, let's go over here and pick up our bull elk. About the biggest animal of the hunt. Got a spine, left lung, and right lung on him, and he scores 307. Now he's a decent bull. And for now, we'll hang him up in our lodge. Can't complain about that. Yeah, let's get him mounted. Well guys, as much as we really wanted to get a 170 plus or at least a 165 plus high rack whitetail buck, we were unable to find one. So I'm actually going to decide to get that 158 high rack whitetail buck mounted. So we're going to get him mounted, but we actually did get a 170 plus whitetail buck, and I'm going to show you right now. Alright guys, so we were doing a drive out on Whiteheart Island, and Johnny 1815 started shooting, and I had a pretty good feeling that there was a big buck somewhere nearby. Now, I really wanted to get this buck. I knew he was going to be 170 plus because the score estimate said 165 to 190. The only problem is we were both trying to get the same buck. The question is, who was going to kill it? So that shot there, I don't know how we missed it, but somehow we missed it. And we actually had to unload a new magazine into the gun and hope that this buck was still alive. And this goes on for quite some time. I don't know. We just couldn't figure out how to kill this thing. It just wasn't meant to be. You'd think a 9.3 would be able to kill this thing, but believe it or not, he's actually hit 3 or 4 times. But he is a tough son of a gun. And there you have it. 170 plus whitetail down. Now right now I needed to put in the chat. So after about 15 different shots, the buck finally went down. And we came to find out that he was actually hit 4 or 5 different times. But as soon as I shot him, I knew I had to put in the chat that he was down. Because everybody else was trying to shoot at this buck too. And we want to be able to get him and get a trophy shot and get him mounted on the wall. So it's pretty funny right now actually, because there's still some animals out here. And Johnny's just sitting here shooting away at him. And we literally just run right past him. And as soon as we get around this corner here, there's actually another buck. He's like a 150, 160 buck, and you can see him right here. We're about to shoot him, but then we decided, nah, we already have a 170-inch buck dead. So let's let Johnny get him. So that's what happens. We come up over the hill, and there's the buck, and he just gets crushed. And he's down. So let's go over and pick up our monster whitetail buck. Wow, he's pretty wide. So my first guess is he's going to be 180. I'm thinking he's going to be like 180, low 180s, so I put 183. And he looks like an awesome buck. So let's pick him up and see what he scores. And you can see we hit him right in the neck bone. He scores 170.8, and that's definitely a trophy whitetail buck. And we shot him in the drive with a 9.3 rifle, so that was pretty cool too. A lot of my big bucks I shoot with a bow and arrow, but it was pretty cool to take this one out with a 9.3, and everybody else was in there too, and And especially to be able to get this buck over Johnny. He actually had this buck hit 2 times, and we only hit him 1 time, but we made a good shot, and we brought him down. Alright, well let's go take a look at him in the trophy lodge. Alright guys, so we're in our trophy lodge now, and here's the 158.8 scoring whitetail that we shot. This is our first high rack buck that we have mounted, and here he is up here on this fireplace. He looks pretty cool. I'm definitely glad we got him mounted. He turned out alright. He definitely has quite a bit of points on him. And he only has that one little sticker. So he's pretty good. Alright guys, and this is the second one that we shot in the drive. This is the monster, 170.8. We shot him in the drive with a 9.3 rifle. So that was pretty cool. He looks really cool. He's pretty wide too. I think he was like 24 inches wide. And let's go take a look at our coyote. So the coyote turned out pretty cool too. This is the coyote that we shot with the recurve, and he scores 50.4. So that's pretty cool. And over here, this is our bull elk. This is the bull that we shot, and he looks pretty nice here. A nice little addition to the wall of rams and our big gobbler here. So yeah, pretty cool. Starting to look like a nice hunting lodge here finally. Alright guys, well I think that's going to be the end of this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.